when we say, oh, well, how come women wouldn't want to just give up all their rights and submit to that guy? Well, I'll tell you why. Because in an age where women have unlimited access to attention, in an age where women think they are, in an age where women suffer from the paradox of choice in the global sexual marketplace, at least in that sense, when the belief is, and their egos are built by the idea that maybe he's not the one. Maybe I should make sure that he's not in my Instagram shots, even though he's a professional soccer player. Maybe I should, hedging their bets in this era where they're doing that. If you say something like that, or if you think something like that, or even if the woman agrees with you, every bitch on Instagram is going to go, oh, you're teaching young ladies not to be prepared. And what if he's not the right one? And what if it's feed them fear, sell them security. And the security in this case, really, since the post-sexual revolution, since the sexual revolution, security for women is get your shit on point, get the money together, get your security together, get your education together, you can't have a kid, that's okay. You be a proud single mom by choice. It's the strong, independent woman narrative. That's the security. The fantasy of security, I should say, the perception of security that we sell to women and have been doing so effectively really since about 1967, I think. You've come a long way, baby. Some women are becoming the men that they wanted to marry. Gloria Steinem, 1971. We're still selling them on the security that they don't need no man for long-term security. And in most cases, they're right. And so what happens is they don't need a man. They want a man. Okay. Who do they want? They want Jason Momoa. They want the hot guy in the foam cannon party. They want Justin Waller. They want the guy who's going to rock their world in bed. That's what they want, because they got no use for a guy who can't provide those value added benefits that would make them worth considering that they used to do prior to the sexual revolution. That's why. And that is why you see young ladies like this talking about this.
Body count matters. If you're with a guy and he fucked the whole city before you, what are you thinking? What are you doing?
I have such a double standard with body count because with guys, I'm like, if he's like all over town having sex with every girl, that definitely like turns me off. But if a girl's doing it, like, I don't really think it's that big of a deal.
That's what you get. That's what you get in an era where women don't need a man, but they want a man. Who do they want? Well, they don't want a guy with a big high body count, but it's okay if she's an OnlyFans girl. It's okay if she's hedging her bets and only putting pictures of herself on Instagram and not her boyfriend or her high value apex alpha guy on Instagram. Nothing stops that. There's very little that can buffer that. So when you're in that era, you want to know why we're still having this conversation in 2022. And by the way, we have been having this conversation at least since 2012, because I can remember talks when I was talking to, what was her name from Hooking Up Smart? I can't remember her name. Aunt Giggles. If anybody knows, if you're familiar with my blog, you'll know who I'm talking. Suzanne Walsh. That's who it was. I had the same conversation back in 2012, 10 years ago. Exactly the same one. Oh, hookup culture. There is no hookup culture. There is no hookup culture for the 80% of guys who are sexless. There is no hookup culture. There is a hookup culture for women. Definitely. There's a hookup culture for these girls.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think a lot of girls feel the same way.
Yeah. But I mean, if they're like 100% dedicated to the person they want to be with, I don't think body count is a big deal at all.
Yeah.
Right. Well, okay. Now, that is something that goes against like our biological imperatives. That's our evolutionary firmware. We have to condition ourselves past that to actually accept that. The social meme, if you know anything about memetics, that's a meme, but it's the normalizing of a behavior set that in some way is counterintuitive to what, at least in our evolutionary past, would have been effective as an adaptation for reproduction or survival. And so we have to convince ourselves that it's okay that a woman has a high body count. But yet we're still going to magically put the onus on guys to have a low body count. And like she was saying, I have such a double standard on that. And again, we asked, like, as I said, we asked a similar question, the girls on Access Vegas, it wasn't so much about the body count as it was about the social ramifications of that. That is very telling.